Bling. Let me just check.
Got an anticipation.
Oh, the previous, right. We are on air. Welcome, everybody who has tuned in to April's Reggae Rasta Reasoning. And for those who've been coming back regularly, thank you so very much. John and I are so happy to have you back again. My name is Musa Fing. We have John, myself and John conceived of Reggae Rasta Reasoning. Last month, I don't know if you listened to the show, we had a show on sexually explicit language and culture in reggae and dancehall. And today, we said it has to be about the women. So, before I introduce everybody, in fact, yes, I'm going to introduce the rest of our beautiful, amazing today. Lord God, my heart just a jump up and down because we have the panel today is amazing. Our resident brother, Fluid Irie, sound system operator, historian, cultural icon, DJ Fluid Irie. Introductions briefly.
Part-time comedian.
Yes.
But yeah. No, you know what I do? I tell you what I do. I try to be, even from the sound system, a link between the people and the performers, the people and the music, the people and all the things we do, which is why I kind of ended up, I think, doing the hosting thing.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like a conduit, a link to the things that we do.
Fantastic.
And because I'm neither smoker nor drinker, my music is my drug. Music and media is my drug. They're the things that keep me moving.
I can relate.
Am I not in it?
I can relate.
Yeah.
So today's panelists, we've got the UK, we've got Kenya. So let's go to Kenya, to Nile Dawta, the beautiful artist. And we're going to be hearing music from all the artists you see on screen, minus DJ Fluid and John. But the female artists you see, we're going to be listening to their music. Nile Dawta, quick introduction, please.
The mute.
All the way from Kenya, unmute. I think it's at the bottom of your screen. Okay, while you do that, Nile Dawta, let me go to Awa Bling, and she's speaking to us from the Gambia. And anyway, Awa Bling, introduction.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm Awa Bling. I'm a hip hop artist and an activist. So I use my music to talk about social issues, like issues that are really affecting us as a society. So yeah, that's what I do.
Beautiful. We're gonna come back to you. Nile Dawta, you ready? You unmute? Okay, I'll leave you to. Yes, she's unmuted.
Yeah.
From Kenya. I know we look like we're all in the same, but this is an international gathering today. Looking so beautiful. Welcome to Reggae Rasta Reasoning.
Give thanks, my queen. Greetings to everybody on here. Greetings from Nairobi. I go by the name of Nile Dawta, and I'm a progressive artist from Nairobi, Kenya, and also an activist, an entrepreneur, and a student of life. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Beautiful introduction. And Sister Paulette, Sister Annette, Joseph, and Judah, I know you're separate people, but in terms of your music, you come as a beautiful duo. Just a quick introduction to start, please.
I'll start. I'm Paulette from Royal Blood, and myself and my sister, who you'll meet soon, have formed a group. I think we've been going over 30 years ago, and we're still going strong in music, and we really believe in the power of music, and that transcends everything. So, yeah.
Yes, and echoing what my sister Paulette said, I am the younger of the two. I have to get that out there. Just to say that we've been singing together since we were children, really, and we come from a musical family, and music is just in our hearts and our souls, and it's been part of our lives for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much. So today, people, and if you didn't get that, we have artists from here in the UK, Royal Blood, the original Royal Blood, because there's a newer Royal Blood from the UK, I believe. Are they from the UK?
They're a band from the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paulette and Annette are the original. And then we have Awa Bling from the Gambia, a hip-hop artist. And then we have Nile Dawta. And as you heard them say, their music is about progression, and it's about issues that are important to the world and to their respective countries and to different aspects of who they are. So just to start, when it comes to women in music and women in the music industry, I'm going to give you some information here. And this information is from Sound Reef. Sound Reef represent 39,000 singers and songwriters across the planet. And this is some statistics from them. Between 2013 and 2018, only 9.3% of Grammy Award nominees were women. According to New York Times, out of 600 most popular songs from 2012 to 2017, 4% were performed by women. Yes? In research conducted by Annenberg School of Journalism in 2017, only 16.8% of all active artists are women. Glastonbury 2019 lineup, main stages, 26% women. According to CSAC, 10% of the top 100 creators in the world in terms of revenue generated are women. 10%, yes? Across Europe's collecting societies, women represent less than 20% of registered songwriters and composers. Billboard Hot 100. In last week's chart, female artists accounted for only 20%. Best indie alternative, 5% were women. Need I go on? So, and listen to this, Paulette Annette. Nile Dawta. Last FM's top 100 reggae artists chart includes 7 women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Me can't count them by my 2 hands.
What?
Last FM's top 100 reggae artist charts include 7 women. So this is why we said we need to do this today, because that 7% does not represent the oceans of talent, the oceans of songwriting, the oceans of creativity and artistry that goes behind the music. Just a couple of things and genres also to kick us off. When it comes to the top of the tree, in the sense of reggae music, Marcia Griffiths has to be up there. Marcia Griffiths, I think I represent the amount of years that she's been performing. It's like 55, maybe, I think her music career is a bit older than me, but it's like 55, 56 years of music. Now, when she was 10 years old, she performed at the Carib Theatre in Kingston. And the band was Byron Lee and the Dragonaires, a very famous band from the 60s, revolutionaries in ska, etc. So Byron Lee wasn't keen on having Marcia Griffiths there because, number one, she was a child. Number two, she was a female. So she gets up on stage, she holds the microphone, and she's waiting for the band to count her in. And the bandsmen just sat down. This was her first experience in the music business. So instead of running away in terror, Marcia Griffiths, age 10, she starts singing her song. So what did the band have to do? They had to play along with her because they now were embarrassed. That's Marcia Griffiths, age 10 years old. On the other side now, in the hip-hop genre, we have Roxanne Shante, who's one of the revolutionaries and one of the names you tend not to hear when people are talking about hip-hop history, etc. She started in the hip-hop business when she was 14, 15 years old. She was a mum. She became a mum when she was 15. And a kind of different spin on the story. One of the things she said was, being a mother who was also a hip hop up and coming artist, she used her money to help to raise her child. So today we're going to talk about the amazing things. We're going to talk about the spectrum, basically. Anybody listening, John will be taking comments. Please, listeners, viewers, add your comments, add your questions. It is not every day you're going to get these beautiful array of artists in front of you. So I would urge you, if you have any questions, please put them in the on the YouTube page. John will pick them up. And John, let me know when we have any questions. And so I have a question for the artists. What brought you into an industry that I've just read you some statistics for 2021? And by the way, Musafing comes as Musafing. I don't have a radio voice and a radio personality. If I feel something, I'm going to express it in the way that I feel, because this is an informal friendship thing. Coming into the music industry, can we hear from, in fact, let's do it the other way. Can we hear from Nile Dawta, please, to start with, your experiences and reasons for wanting this to be one of your expressions to the world? Oh, you're still on mute.
I am, my connection is a bit slow, so maybe someone can go before me. It's like I am hearing you after. So yeah.
Okay. In that case,
maybe you can just repeat the question and then
sorry. Yes. The question was, what brought you into the music industry? What were your motivations and reasons for wanting to be a musician?
Okay. Greetings again to everybody who's watching and who's tuned in to share the vibes. So what brought me into music? I think for me it's more like a calling. You know, it's more like a persistent calling, because I have in my short life, I have gone through different careers, but it seems like music is the only constant thing that really stays with me after everything else, you know. And so I have a voice, and so through this voice is what just keeps me going, you know, just keeps me. I have something to tell to my people, to speak to inform, to educate, and so I think it's more of like not what brought me into it, but it's rather like it brought me into, like, it called me. It is, I don't have a choice really for what I am doing. It's more of a calling. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So the sisters Morris, who are royal blood, yes. What brought you to this amazing platform?
Do you want to go first, Judah?
No, you go ahead, sis.
Well, I think actually, my sister said it. My father, really. I think my father brought instruments into the house. He was a musician, so we saw live music. We were tripping over guitars and drum kits and steel pans and all kind of equipment in the house. And I think we were fascinated that you could make music from this medium. We also had a record shop on our street, Sir Yankee record shop, and we were very familiar with his daughter, so we used to visit that record shop regularly and just listen to the reggae music. And I think the expression, our mother, she taught us harmony when we were younger, because we used to sing in the church with our father. So I think it started there, where we felt that live presence of music, and I think that's where for me it started. And the journey persisted when someone asked, "Oh, do you want to join a band?" And I thought, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll join a band." And from there it just was easy, because I saw my dad in a band and I thought, yeah, we can do this. I didn't understand that we couldn't do it as females. I wasn't aware at that time. We like you know, my beautiful sister said, it was a calling. It was just like we were just called to do this, and we just followed and did this. So yeah, do you wanna continue, Judah?
Yeah. Echo everything my sister just said there, and just to add that I think for for me, it was a passion, because I absolutely loved the idea of music, but not only just the idea of it, but the fact that we were taught by music. So when we were young, being raised in England, in the UK, our cultural identity wasn't taught to us in school. So what, the history of our ancestors, it wasn't taught to us in school, but through reggae music, it's like that was our teacher in our youth, and so for me, that's why I was drawn to reggae in itself, because it taught us so much about who we were, and it made me fall in love with and embrace the whole culture of our African identity. So, and going back to, again, what my sister was saying there, I remember probably being so young, maybe being even 2 years old, in church with my dad and my mum, with my brother as a baby, and us getting up and singing, my dad playing guitar, and us singing in this church with all white people, and just us in the church as black people. But it just felt so natural that's what we were meant to do. So singing is a calling, as the sister said earlier. It's like a spiritual connection that you have with this thing, and where the singing voice comes from could only be God.
Yes.
Could only be God.
Wow. It's a powerful thing that you've all shared. So despite the figures, if you were to listen to the figures and it was like a head thing, you'd think, oh, there's no point in going to music because the women are not represented and da. But it's beyond all of that. It transcends. Yes. Awa Bling from Gambia, what about your early and, journey into music?
Yeah, I'll have to say the same thing. Like, it was just like a calling. I started music when I was going to school, probably 2009-10. So it's really hard for me to tell what really inspired me. I have no idea. I just started, writing songs, because growing up, I have been this kid that's extremely shy. I don't even ask questions in class. I'm always shy. So, I just had this feeling in me that the only way I can communicate freely to people is through music. So, yes, that's what really actually motivated me later on to start doing music. And there's this hip hop crew called the Poetic X. They taught me how to write songs. My society too inspired me, because I've been seeing a lot of things going around. So, that's how it started. Yeah.
Fantastic. Beautiful. So before we elaborate, I'm going to play you a track from a sister called Sister Ruby. And this is a production company that I recently found out about called Digitech. Digitech made me realize that the genre of lovers rock, because I listen to very old lovers rock from the UK, which is lovers rock is a UK black phenomenon. And basically this discovering this label made me realize that lovers rock and British reggae is very much alive and kicking. So this is Sister Ruby, and I'll be playing some of the music of the artists here as well. But let's start with Sister Ruby, and she just give thanks for life, and she give thanks that she there. Digitech production.
Life is such a precious thing. It's the most precious gift that we shall be granted. Woke up this morning, I give thanks that I'm alive. My heart I go bodum, me still I blow the breath of life. How many people got bed last night and this morning never rise? How many people say see you later, we will gather in the daylight? Tomorrow's promised to no one. So just live your life, live it up full until it's done. Make hay while the sun higher one. Me say, me give thanks me there. Me give enough thanks that me there, Lord. Me give thanks me there. I have another chance at life. Whoa. Me give thanks me there. Me give enough thanks that me there, Lord. Me give thanks me there. Giving thanks unto the Most High. Get up in the morning, you give thanks to Him. Give thanks for the new bread that you're drawing. I just drop picnic, yes, I'm chatting. We fill up the Almighty and put your trust in Him. Put your trust in the Most High. Never deny the Most High. Have faith in the Most High. Exalt His name and glorify. Put your trust in the Most High. Never deny the Most High. Have faith in the Most High. Exalt His name and testify. Me give thanks me there. Me give enough thanks that me there, Lord. Me give thanks me there. I have another chance at life. Whoa. Me give thanks me there. Me give enough thanks that me there, Lord. Me give thanks me there. Giving thanks unto the Most High. No more talking. We just got to keep on doing. By our actions and good deeds, the Almighty we shall please. Striving for perfection, feeling the vibration. Anything that you want, just ask and you will receive. This is no illusion, it's a law of attraction. Idea from creation, seek ye first the kingdom. Your blessings they shall increase. This you feel know, don't just believe. It's a state of mind, just get aligned. Don't you get left behind. Me give thanks me there. Me give no thanks that me there, Lord. Me give thanks me there. I have another chance at the
Sister Ruby on the Digitech label, and that's a beautiful brainchild of Mr. Gary Digitech, and that is alive and kicking right now. UK reggae label, keeping beautiful reggae music from black musicians in the UK alive. So we'll be listening to some of your music as well later on, and we give thanks that we're there. And just a quick, just an acknowledgement of DJ Fluid. Mummy, it's a year since your mummy's passing. We just want to give thanks for her life as well. And just remember, because that song is about life here, life gone, because it all merges into the one life. So blessed love to Mummy. Now, you're coming into the music business as women from different eras as well. What was the experience like for you? Where shall we start? John, any questions as yet?
Yeah, not yet. We just have like 7 viewers, but they are tuning in and they are liking the discussion, but no question yet.
No questions yet. Thank you.
I will pop one when it comes.
Fantastic. And also remember, if you have any questions as well, John, just
okay.
So
I will come in.
To those listening, thank you so much for tuning in to Reggae Rasta Reasoning and to listen to the voices of these amazing women to speak about their experiences as women in the music industry. So yes, coming into the music industry, because yes, you have the calling. The next step now is, what do you do with the calling? And there's a journey and a trajectory. How were your early experiences coming into music? Let's start with Paulette and Annette.
Well, I'll start. It was through the Rastafari. We would have weekly meetings where we would gather and we would chant. And again, it was a way to find out about ourselves and our history. And the women at the end of the meetings would sing and chant songs. And it was, for me, that was very inspiring because it was very organic, and the drum was just the most amazing unity, the unity that you felt and the harmonies that would come out of the sisters. And I think it was from there I really got a passion to write songs about redemption and songs about the Rasta faith and keeping your culture. And I was inspired by that to go home, write a song and bring it back to the meetings.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So on the Naya Bingy beats, for the Rasta Night and Bingy Beat, I would write some lyrics on there about Rasta. And the first song I wrote was about Africa is where we come from, and being born here in the UK, that was really important for us at that time, growing up in the UK, and that was the first song I ever wrote. It's called Africa.
How old were you?
That was I'd say 15. I was 15 before my child, yeah. So I was about 15.
Yeah.
And that time there was a lot of prejudice, a lot of go home. So you'd have direct slogans on the wall, nigger go home, and you'd see our wogs, and you'd hear all this rhetoric around not wanting. So we didn't see ourselves as Black British. We didn't see ourselves even as Caribbean. We'd never been to the Caribbean before. So we were kind of stuck in this, who are we? So we just went straight to Africa and said, well, we're African. And obviously we've never been to Africa, but we kind of realized that was where our heritage was. So that was a big thing for us, and that's where music for me started, and that individuality, because my father was Caribbean, calypso. It was beautiful music, but me and my sister decided this is where our message is. The message is in the music, and this is where we want to be there.
Wonderful.
We want to be able to speak our truth.
Yes.
So
yes. Anything to elaborate?
Yeah, echo everything my sister said there. And I'm just to say that the song that my sister wrote inspired me to want to continue in music, because I was in awe of just that whole process. And at that time, Africa was an amazing song, and still is to this day. So sis, well done to you. And over the years as well, I think from that, going into music, I think that for us, it was in those early days, because we kind of got into music in the 80s. So it was in a time when, I suppose emerging Black female singers were few and far between, unless you were in the Lovers Rock. With my sister, we were very much roots and culture. And because we came out of the Rasta fraternity, I dreaded up my first dread at 13. So I remember feeling this passion for roots and culture and identity, and us singing about that. So we were very much against, at the time, singing about Lovers Rock, and we were purely roots and culture, because we felt that was that was
whether
important.
your man did left you or not left you wanted to sing about the power, the culture, the identity. That was
first.
Yes, I totally get that, because when I was 15, the songs were. It's later that I learned to appreciate Lovers Rock, but at that time it's like, me don't want to talk about what the man do, what the man do. I want to chant down, and I totally. So what was your first experiences coming into music on the more serious level? Just give us a little taste of that.
Joe, do you want to go?
I think. For us, the serious level started when we started gigging as a young band, and we started gigging in places like Leeds, the university circuits. We gigged, which is
where I saw you when I was 16.
That's right. Yes. We were very lucky.
Yeah,
exactly, intact. Yeah, and I have the first album here, and that was probably our first. Exactly intact. And that's our first. I mean, some people might have never seen an album before. I don't know. I won't be so presumptuous. Yeah.
Wow.
I actually love them, and we come from that era, and I think that was our first experience of recording and touring and going on gigs. And we were very lucky. We had a club on the corner of our street called the Phoenix Club, and the owner of it, he liked the band. He liked the band. And we were just young kids, and he gave us a residency there. And we backed people like John Holt and the Mighty Diamonds, and we were the band that would go on before we.
Wow.
Yes. Twinkle Brothers.
Wow.
He would put us on. So that was I would say that was our big break came in our community kind of thing. Obviously, we had big other breaks, but that feeling of being wanted in your own community was very empowering for us.
Wow. We'll come back to that shortly, DJ Fluid, in terms of talking about your coming into the business. Awa Bling. Okay, Nile Dawta. We'll come back to you, Awa. Sorry. Yes. Coming into the music business industry, gigging or recording? What was that like for you in the initial?
Sorry, is it me next
Yes.
or Awa?
Yeah, she wasn't there, so I basically came to you. Sorry, you didn't hear me say Nile Dawta. Sorry. It's the timing as well. Don't worry. We'll get through. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, what was it like coming into the business in the initial years?
Yes.
First I'd like to say I always feel like I'm just starting. It's like it's like I've not even started, you know. But professionally I've been doing music now for this is the 3rd year. And I always make a joke about I'm not counting 2020 because we skipped that one.
Absolutely.
So I would say just 2 years, you know, and it's an honor really to be here also with the Royal Blood Sisters, you know. It's 30 years. Big up yourselves, empresses. So I don't know if I wouldn't say I have like, of course I have my initial experiences when I was starting, but I think for me it was like because I took like 5 years just recording and doing music and just giving it out to my friends and my family. At that time I was still in campus, and then after that, and I was working for some time, and then I decided, you know what, maybe I could try music now, like for serious, because everybody, the feedback and the response I was getting was really positive. And so I put together a team of really close friends who are instrumentalists, and we started jamming and we started like playing my records, and the reception was really beautiful. And so just from there we kind of got hooked, you know, as we really did get hooked to the whole process of creating and then putting music together and sharing it with the ones that were close to us. And so from there we just started making like small leaps, and actually we put together my first show that I did, a live show. I put it together, and after that, 2 weeks later, there was someone in the audience, and I was called up for, it's called a Power Festival, which is one of like the biggest festivals in Nairobi. And I was called to come and feature like first show, then the second show I'm put in front of like 2,000 people, and so it was crazy, you know. And so from there, probably I have something, you know. Yeah. So I would say like that was like really my initial experience. Yeah.
Probably you have something. I'm gonna play. Next up is one of your tracks, and even though you're saying in terms of the years, one of the things I've really loved listening to is the power and the depth. It kind of has no years. So I hear what you're saying in terms of your experience, but as a listener, because I listen to music every day of my life, and I listen to all of your music before doing the show with my headphones on, just like an intimate you know, and it was, there's no timing on it. So we'll hear that soon. So thank you so much for that. Yeah. Awa Bling, coming into the music industry as a serious hip hop artist in the Gambia.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that like it wasn't like easy at all. Number one is, you know, being female, you know, because the way our society is shaped, like most people believe that, you know, women are not supposed to do music, especially rap, because they consider it to be a genre which promotes violence. That's their own understanding of it. And you know, most people believe in that, you know, women are supposed to be like probably housewives, you know, they should be in the kitchen. So you know, there were so many restrictions, you know, when it comes to the family side, you know. There are certain times you shouldn't be out. Let's say, for example, the shows, they start late, maybe 12 or 1. But, you know, in most cases, as a girl, you're not supposed to stay out late, you know. So yeah, that really affected me. So I really had to be how do I say this? Pig-headed, maybe. I really had to be strong, and you know, I'm like, you know what? I know what I want, so I'm going for it. You know, I've been insulted a lot, you know, discouraged a lot, but I know what I want, and I know what I want to present to the world. So, you know, now I'll say Alhamdulillah, because now, you know, like my people, my society, they're beginning to appreciate what I do as an artist. Like they're beginning to understand exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So it was hard at
it
first.
sounds like through your very action of moving forward, you had to educate them in
Yes.
terms of what you were doing. And your music is very powerful, Awa. I'm not just saying that because you're here. It is.
Thank you.
So when did your family begin to understand this girl is not joking? She's serious about this.
Yeah. I believe, you know, you know, I'll say my parents. So sometimes they have some of their friends telling them, wow, your daughter is a really, you know, good artist. You know, I had her song there. So, you know, I could see on their faces that, you know, they didn't have the time to sit and listen to my songs, but, you know, hearing feedbacks from probably their colleagues, or that made them, how do I say, what's the word? That made them curious, you know, to try to find out what I'm really doing.
So the outside
And
world influenced them to think, to kind of pay attention and to realize.
yes.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yes. So later on, you know, they started supporting me. You know, it's kind of weird, you know, how, you know, our African parents are. They started supporting me, but still they were a little bit protective.
Of course.
But I appreciated the fact that probably sometimes when I'm supposed to go for an interview, you know, my mom will tell me, don't forget you have an interview today, so don't be late, you know. So mostly, you know, when I go on shows and I get paid, you know, you know, they see me getting paid. So, you know, they see that I'm not doing something that's, you know, actually wasting my time, and they're getting the feedbacks from people that are really positive. So yeah, that really helped out.
Wow.
So now I have their support like 100%.
Fantastic. All the power to all of you. Fluid Irie, I feel you're bursting. Talk.
No, I'm not bursting. I'm obviously, as you said earlier,
yes.
I'm kind of a historian, and obviously just a community activist. And what I've seen over the years, obviously, because I'm older, there are expectations that were made of our women, and as Sister Awa mentioned earlier, we're expected to be the homemakers and be home in the kitchen and Ray and blah blah. And because you're coming into an industry which is historically male orientated, then even when you go into the industry, you're expected to fulfill certain roles in the industry, like eye candy or just songs that don't speak of anything as such. I mean, the first female hit from out of the diaspora was probably Millie Small, who was singing about My Boy Lollipop. If her first song was singing We Need to Go Back Home, then it's very unlikely that that song would have been a hit. Because again, as a black woman, worse, a dark-skinned black woman, she's only expected to do certain things and sing about certain things. And the industry, I would ask a question of all my sisters of how supported you felt by the industry, because as women, again, you find that a lot of the management are men who also have preconceived ideas about how women should be in the industry. So I would ask that question.
Start with, go on, DJ Fluid, you choose.
Huh?
Choose who to start. Or because I'm thinking if we just open up all the mics and talk, hopefully, so it's not too rigid.
Open up on the mic.
Open up on the mic. John, do you have any comments, anything?
Yes, I have a comment, and we have viewers who are tuning in from Texas, USA.
Fantastic.
We have Team Serious TV, and you asked a question, like, I think it's a question and a reaction, like the control Western media hardly promotes positive rap music. So, like, I think it was a reaction. I think when the topic about the rap
when
music
Awa said something, yes.
Awa said
Absolutely.
about rap. Mm-hmm. Yes, and also we have DMW also tuning in and saying 100% enjoying the debate.
Thank you.
The reasoning. Okay.
Yes. So back to the question was about support within the industry as women artists, African women artists, because there's another layer on top of that. Speak.
I'm going to just say it's so true, because it's very male dominated, and within, I think, and for us as Royal Blood, I think our experiences have been equal, negative and positive, because I think we've had some amazing male representatives that have been allowed us to be ourselves in terms of our music, and allowed us to say the things we want to say in our music and not control anything. And then on another hand, we've had people saying, we would like you to sing this song. So this is in the serious recording. Once we started to seriously record, we'd like you to sing this song, and we'd like you to sing this. And we had to fight and fight and fight in many situations to have our own music, to do our own music. And we actually was very staunch in that. And for us, when we started recording in London, because we're from the north of England, so going down to London was for us like, we're northern. So like, you know, these northern girls are coming into a London scene, because Lovers Rock was predominantly a London scene. So that's another layer
on top of all the other things, if you allowed them to stop you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we always had the experience of working in a band, which was a lot of males. So we were already very confrontational, even within the band. We know we don't like it. No, we want you to do it this way. No, and we were very, very vocal. So when we got to London, we decided we were going to be vocal as well. We're not going to take what they had to say. We decided we want to make the music we want to make. And we were lucky on that journey that we actually did. Were allowed to make the music we wanted to make. Do you want
to we, the listeners, are even luckier, but yes. Sister Judy.
And I think just to add to that, I think in terms of the support, I think Paulette's right in terms of we had some good experiences and some bad experiences, because there were those people who were quite stereotypical about the way they saw Black women in the industry. And it was deemed that, like we were saying before, about the genre of music, that expectation in the UK that all Black female artists would sing Lovers Rock. And, you know, we did some of the stuff we did, you know, it's our original stuff, but we did end up some of our serious recording doing some of that music, but it was at a later stage in our journey when we had kind of felt that we'd done our bit in terms of promoting the consciousness, because that was the most important thing. And now we're older and a little bit wiser. Now we can sing a little bit about love and about that kind of thing.
You're right, because I think we realized that singing about love was normal as well. It was just to sing about a love affair. Our lives were about struggle and it's not always. It should never be always about the struggle. It should be that we should have time for loving as well, and time to take care of ourselves in the midst of all this struggling. Yes. So I think the Lovers Rock was our way of saying, you know, we can love too. You know, we didn't see it ourselves on the screen, you know, in a love affair. We didn't see ourselves in the press or in the media, but we gave ourselves that love, and Lovers Rock gave us that identity that we can love. It's all right to love each other and to hug up and to feel affection and all of these things.
Absolutely.
Miss the struggle.
That's right. And we came into this from a Rasta perspective. So it was for us, I think that's partly what made us kind of strong women in the industry. So when we went to London and was, you know, in the studio with all these big producers, we weren't intimidated by that. So we went in there as professional women, you know, we were mothers as well, you know, so we had a mission to complete, and we got a reputation for being really fast in studio because they're kids to pick up, you know.
Yeah, kids pick up. Yeah, go pick the kids up. And we would definitely say, right, we're going in the studio, and we sometimes because we became backing vocals as well for other artists. So we would go to the studio and do backing vocals and have
I was just thinking, following on from the perception of our diasporic artists, I think it's very interesting that someone who made probably the biggest anthem, the greatest anthem for Black women was Judy Mowat.
Yes.
Black woman. And yet her perception, the perception of her in the world is as one of the I3s. Bob Marley's backing singer. No, people don't see beyond that. And you have people like Lauryn Hill, who showed people that it was acceptable for a Black woman with Natty to sing about love, to sing about activism, to talk about everything going on in the world. And I'm sure she's still one of the highest selling hip hop, because it's classified as a hip hop album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Highest selling hip hop albums of all time. Yeah. And she's the one who's made it accessible for people like Nile Dawta, for people like Awa Bling to make songs and do music that speaks of more than just shooby-dooby-doo, I love you. Yeah. So, and I think that's what we should be looking at now in terms of perception. That and more female ownership of what we do.
Yes.
We as our sorry, Mr. Thing. No, go on. We as female artists are rounded artists. We have a whole, our lives are a whole span of things, and it includes so many different aspects. And for them to just take one aspect out and represent Black women's struggle, we're not all about the struggle. Yes. We are very much, our stories about struggle, but we are very much entrepreneurs. We're very much in terms of how we have to struggle with our men as well. You know, we're holding the family together. We're holding our men together because there's struggles out there in our society for our men. And we hold them down, we hold our children down, and we still hold our careers down. Wow. We still have to have ambition. Yes. There's so much, and and exactly. So I adore artists, all the female artists here. You're right. The journey is as powerful as it is. It could be a moment that you're in the music business, but it's what you give. That's the power. It doesn't matter how long you're in the music business, because it's a rolling stone. It's a rolling stone. It will never die. It will never die.
Thank you so much. And coming to Nile Dawta, I know that the sound is coming to you a bit later, but the question was around support that DJ Fluid asked. Coming into the industry, did you feel a sense of support? And maybe some comments about what you're listening to in terms of your older sisters in music.
I think and I am also maybe a comedian too. I was telling and my friend the other day, like, why do I like being in marginalized? Because you know what, I am an artist, which is frowned upon, and then I am a reggae artist, which is now even like another layer on top, you know, and it's like I am a reggae female artist, so now there's like 3 layers on top, you know. And I was just saying, probably someone has to be there to carry the cross, or to live this type of life, you know. It's not easy being an artist and being a female artist doing reggae music in Kenya, and being a female artist doing reggae music is layer on top of layer on top of layer. And so in terms of the reception for me is, especially with my family, I really had to, Awa Bling, as I was saying earlier, it was a fight, like it was a tooth and nail kind of thing, you know. It was like straight up battle with my folks. Yeah, and my experience is same with her. It's like after they got to like see me on TV and maybe they're in the supermarket and hear my music, or they're in the and they're like, okay, this girl is serious. Maybe she's very serious, because I did actuarial science in undergrad and I am not practicing, and to feel their pain too, you know, and deciding to be a musician and deciding to be a reggae musician and deciding to be a female reggae musician.
Oh wow!
You know, it's not easy. So I remember when the turnaround for me with my father was the turnaround for me was when I had a show. I was performing at this show, and it was really amazing. The space was beautiful. There was a good audience. It was like, I would say, in the uptown of Nairobi, and there was a good crowd around. And my dad never knew like I had a band, you know. And there was this tiny me, my band was introducing me, and there was this tiny me coming on stage, you know, introducing Nile Dawta, and I came in on stage, and I remember he cried, you know. Oh. He cried after all this war we went through together, and he was like, yeah, for real now, she is serious about it. And for me, it was like just pushing on and continuing to just press the buttons as hard as possible. And that was just like from my immediate space, you know, and not now just including now the industry itself. And as I said, like it's really hard to be a reggae female artist right now, because it's something new, it's kind of foreign, and it's different. And so the perception is like, oh, we just get high, or oh, we just chill around, and then, you know, and that is not the case. And when I was starting off, I used to do neo reggae, and that's why I call my music neo roots. I used to do neo soul, and I'm a very soulful kind of artist, and my music is just laid back and nice chilled vibes, you know. And I was given this recording label when I was just starting off, and they insisted I had to make a hit song, like a club banger. And I was writing and trying, and I told them, man, this is not me. Mm-hmm. This is not me. This is not what I speak about. I can't. And they wrote one for me, and they told me my spirit was not in need, and they dropped me. Mm. So I had to start finding my footing again, you know. And it's with time and just that persistence of, I know the kind of words I want to write, the kind of message I want to put out, and just being persistent with that, and pushing, and now people are just now gravitating towards what I am
because
creating.
Of the truth is the truth. And when you speak your truth, whether it's through me speaking, whether it's through your music, and the fact that you stuck to that, Nile Dawta, my heart goes. It's a beautiful story. And your message and your music is so beautiful because it's truthful, and that is so important. Before we go to the next piece of music, oh, this is so exciting. Awa Bling, are you there?
Sukando.
Yes, I'm here.
John will come back to you after Awa has spoken. Thank you, John. Yes, support after you battled, well, not physically with your family, and they now accept you. Where is your support within the industry as an artist who's now coming up?
Well, yeah, I like to say that, you know, I'm really inspired that, you know, I'm part of this discussion right now. So, you know, when it comes to the support, well, it's not really, you know, fully there, but, you know, I have people who really love and appreciate what I do. People who always, you know, try to motivate me by the things they say to me, you know. But, you know, there's still a struggle somewhere But I just hope that someday we will be able to, move forward. I'll be able to move forward that. And, the fact is, in Gambia, we have less female artists. Like you can even count them. And most of us we easily quit. We easily quit. It's either probably you have to get married, and if you do, maybe your husband won't allow you to do music. There's some excuse somewhere. So I'm like, you know what, like I said before, I know what I want. I know what my target is. So I don't want to be the female artist who will easily quit without really achieving, reaching the goal I want to reach at. So the support is not there 100%.
Yes.
But like I said, I'm just trying to push through and move forward.
Your mission is clear to you.
Yes, and I've worked with a couple of organizations, and I'll say that, on that side, they have been supportive too. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Which I really appreciate.
Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, can I give a mention to your Sejikar, your husband? He's also an artist.
Yes, he's a reggae dancehall artist.
Wow. So I would imagine that was a beautiful marrying, pardon the pun.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like the best thing I've ever done.
What's his name, his performance name?
Mahaa D Hammer.
Mahaa D Hammer. Bless up to Mahaa D Hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, time is going. So many things to ask. John, feedback.
Yeah, the session is going on well, and we have viewers who've come in. We have our sister Debbie from London, tuning all the way from London, and also Deborah from Nairobi.
Fantastic.
We have Odiambo from Roots.
Welcome everybody. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's saying blessed session, and then we have a couple of questions like. Debbie from Outer Globe.
Yes.
She's asking how much say do you have in the studio in production? Do you get involved with the technical side? The ladies, women. And then we have another one. When are you? Just a reaction from Debbie. When you are singing your truth, the music is so much powerful.
Absolutely, yes.
And then Roots artists, Team Serious says the Roots artists have it tough, and some just cave in and drop a dance or sing.
Similar to what Awa Bling said, yes.
Yeah, similar, yes.
Yes.
And then just one reaction, like when Nile Dawta was talking, and also Awa Bling, I would say like there's something called intersectional. Like you find intersectional approaches. Like you find you are a woman, you are a black woman, and then you are a reggae artist.
So bam,
like,
bam, bam,
bam, bam, bam, bam.
What a bam, bam.
What a bam, bam. And also you are like singing rap music. So bam, bam, bam.
Because rap is seen as something hard and tough, and you have to swear, and you have to say and you have to say and you have to say all of these things, and if you don't, it's not really rap. Gonna come back to that. Got to play some of the music. Lord God can't have you here and not listen to the music as well, even though what you're saying is so amazing. I somehow don't think we are going to fit the next. If we have to run over a little bit, I'm the stage manager, so we're going to listen to a beautiful track by Nile Dawta. Tell us some more about the track once we've listened to it, and tune into this beautiful track, Mango Tree. Oh, you see, because I'm using two computers, I'm trying to get this computer to work, thinking it's not working because I'm using the other computer mouse. Okay. Mango Tree by Nile Dawta. Don't do that to me.
Living in the truth of love.
living in the truth of life.
Sorry, my Bluetooth.
I go to mango tree, love my mango seed, smiling every day.
I'm gonna rewind.
Special all the way.
Come on.
Sha-la-la-la-la.
Oh, I'm so sorry, people.
Mango tree. Sing my world so free, smiling all the way. Special every day. You make me cool in your shadows.
Rewind. Got to. Nile Dawta, Mango Tree. Okay.
For the soul seekers, living in the truth of love, living in the truth of life. I go to mango tree, love my mango seed, smiling every day. Special all the way, sha la 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 la. Under me mango tree, sing my world so free, smiling all the way. Special every day. You make me cool in your shadows, through the breeze of the winds. Your lips whispering in my ears, singing me the songs of love. You protect me, stand firm for me through the rings of time we hold, through the waves of space we sail. Sha la 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 la. I go to mango tree, love my mango seed, smiling every day. Special all the way. Sha la 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 la. Under me mango tree, sing my world so free, smiling all the way. Special every day. In their darkness I will hold you, reflecting the inner light, reflecting the inner sight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Many children I will give to you, reflecting our inner light, reflecting our inner sight. Sha la 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 la. I go to mango tree, love my mango seed, smiling every day. Special all the way. Sha la 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 la. Under me mango tree, sing my world so free, smiling all the way. Special every day. Sha la 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 la. Sometimes you seem far away, but I know you're here with me when I look in your eyes. You make me smile. The things you do. Sha la 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 la. Go to mango tree, love my mango seed, smiling every day. Special all the way. Sha la 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 la. Under me mango tree, sing my world so free, smiling all the way. Special every day. You make me cool in your shadows, through the breeze of the winds. Your lips whispering in my ears, singing me the songs of love. You protect me, stand firm for me through the rings of time we hold, through the waves of space we sail. Sha la 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 la. I go to mango tree, love my mango seed, smiling every day. Special all the way.
Oh Lord. Take it away, DJ Fluid. Nile Dawta.
I was muted. Very nice. Here's a quick. So, was the music recorded in Africa also? Nile Dawta.
Yes. Yes.
What inspired that beautiful song?
Yes, it was.
Beautiful.
I've found with the reggae being recorded in Africa is very authentic, and that's such an honor.
Give thanks.
It's beautiful.
So the inspiration behind.
Yeah, wonderful.
The inspiration behind it was from Janine from Jamaica, her song about avocado. And so I was given this rhythm, and it's like I was in the vibration, and I was feeling nice, and I was in love, you know. And so Mango Tree was born.
Wow, fantastic. I think what I'm going to do now is go to the next song, actually. Seeing as we're in the kind of musical feeling. John. Oh, and when it comes to Mango Tree, check the video, Lord God. It just adds another beautiful, the imagery and watch the video. I will put the links in after the show is finished. It's such a beautiful package thing. And she's talking about, I've only been doing it for 2 years. Make me tell you, Nile Dawta. Anyway, when you are touched, you are touched. John.
Yes, just one comment from Debbie. Like she likes the session. The session is good, and it's also introducing her to also to new reggae and rap artists that she hasn't interacted with. So she likes the session. And Roots Radio says it has to be the Mango Tree. Loving the song.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm like, hang on, I'm singing along to some of the parts. That means that the song is something that you can interact with. I'm going sha-la-la-la-la. I'm thinking, where did that come from? How did I know it came there? Because the song touched.
Yes.
It's a beautiful song. It has like an ethereal simplicity, but it's very deep as well at the same time. Sometimes with songs you might want to say a lot of things, but sometimes it's stripping it back, and you felt the love, you know. I don't know who the guy was, but me feeling love as well now. So so thank you that you conveyed the beauty of that message. I'm gonna go straight into Awa Bling now rather than have a gap, and then we'll just kind of have a free talk. But yes, let's just stay with the music. I'm using the wrong mouse again. Sorry, people. Balalma. Why are you doing this to me? Sorry. Come on now. Rewind.
Nino bon be bo hamana muna kin ko noba funa len koy bone amul gudi wala suba be checking dar kama moytu ni pepe subla suba du ang bread walu mota sola bena Awa Bling si rap jurom fuki gorla kon li ngay wax ci man nga fexé mu orla li ngay def ak gëna ñaaw dum ko wax te leerna too many stars in the sky but hole magenta fi dar respect on artists bung la soxlé melni ku lay defal favor they heartless when you speaking the truth you become a target ñu door di la fexel bëgg a gis nga tardé foog ma jaale ñàkk kessa ni ku amu jom li may defa déggu akama ko gom fi benn queen a fi up my day rap fere si géej hip hop te doore wu ma trash yeah I eat what I harvest put in work in my music that free shit I don't have it no pay no show waxuma la sax host I'm not into music just for that little boast champlace again big call me GINA BARZ I'm a speed limit for my neck that might drop bars I know the real from fake will that my podcast moram si poti dala kwanda wal uti sama any time rap do my provide yo you out of your mind do my pay in kind always on my grind nigga I'm a time go find another one to trick cause do my time feed in your heart bang a den you defla icon but I'ma let bygones with bygones Bugun my shine I put the lights on Young my legenti I'm who they got their eyes on they hear me loud and clear like a bass drum I'm surrounded like sharks to chum my peeps are proud of what I be they come. So Hamud Kanifin Estate is where I'm from. Can't see them do my ignore like that money call. More tool model, cause I'm harder than the golf ball. Tell them I will do one take, no Mr. No. All my jappers to my buffer, cause they think that they can solve all. Who got to my mesh, yeah, I'm loving my dreads. Boogle my hairs, I'm doing me instead. This rapper's acting funny just to follow the trend. But do my work, buddy, I'm just giving them shreds. I'm taking it easy, God, family, and music. For my Japanese, it can never be confusing. Never though, cause they know I'm too sick. Listen to the new style I'm introducing. Con randulen, yeah. Awa Bling is here, send bagasi gadulen. Send holye till him sangulen. The Yamada harap, amut fen. Muno bawa taxi hall be newly getting. Pick off, gets mutaka, reg up from the dem the same. Ngador the yaha hali sulu, amut ben and yering. Goma sa bopa yoka jam sahel don sa sitting. Better read the notice board before you take my class. Yo, like take him, I don't jam my clash. I'm on fit there, little piles of trash. Doing my life from the dueling the sass. You wanna see me down from a distance, face the frown. My gonna sample boy on a solid ground. Come back to the gate, so if you're a luma, I'ma rest my case like Gina Mundoma.
GINA BARZ, and that is from I don't even know where to start, to finish, to what. GINA BARZ, Awa Bling, and another Bling.
Thank you.
And that's this year. Am I right, Awa? 2021? Was that released this year?
Yeah. Last month.
Yes, and it's dedicated to Gambian athlete.
Yes.
GINA BARZ. Okay.
Yes.
GINA is the athlete.
Yeah. So basically, you know, obviously the song is Ego Trip. So at some point, I was so focused on the activism side that even for me to write Ego Trip songs was really hard for me. So, you know, people missed, you know, hearing something different from me. So I decided to do this song and dedicate it to the female athlete, you know, who is very strong. So basically what I'm trying to explain in the song is that, you know, me being a strong woman, and for the fact that I don't appreciate that people here, they only start to show appreciation when you're dead. That's the time they dedicate awards to you and do some things that you don't really need when you're dead. So I'm really trying to explain that. And for the fact that to, you know, I explained a scene. There was a time I needed to record a song. So the producer charged me, and that was high for me. So I told him to reduce the price. He was like, I cannot reduce the price, but you can pay me in kind if you want. So, you know, I felt offended as a woman. I felt very angry. So I also mentioned that in the song so that, you know, female artists, you know, can be aware of these things going on, and for them not to go that low, you know, to do things that will make them look funny. So that's it. I'm just trying to say that I'm a queen and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
And the beautiful, because you use a beautiful Wolof language. My Wolof is rubbish. Mangi try pur malega Wolof, but my Wolof is rubbish.
Yes, can you try?
I do.
I'll teach you. I'll help you.
Oh, Jeff. And I'm guessing that you use the athlete GINA BARZ, because if she were to speak, a lot of the things that you're saying, I'm sure, would resonate with her as a leading athlete, So people, these two young women on the screen, did you hear that music? Reactions from John, everybody.
Absolutely amazing.
Annette, Paulette, Fluid.
We'll absolutely love the future.
Yeah, wonderful music. Amazing. Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
It's good to hear young artists as well continuing to do reggae.
Yes.
And the message as well. And we love the strong. I love the idea that you have fought through something to do what you have to do, because I think it takes that strength to be able to persist and to break through. I think you need that strength as a female artist. So well done for continuing, because we need your music, and it's beyond you. The inspiration is given to us, but we have to give it away. It's our duty to give away and to share that inspiration. So thank you so much for continuing your journeys and making sure that we have that music to hear. So thank you.
Absolutely.
That was amazing.
I think it was really good to hear that you did that on what would be a familiar hip hop beat. I think the Locks used it for money, power, respect. But anyway, but it's a familiar beat. So what would happen is those who have no idea of your work are first captivated by the beat. You hear the beat and then you hear the lyrics, and you don't worry about the fact that it's they don't think about the fact that it's a woman who they have no idea who she is. Interestingly enough, it made me think about some of the things that are going on in the music industry now with the type of women that they're promoting, and I'm wondering if it harms your work. You have people like Megan Thee Stallion, you have Doja Cat, you have Cardi B, and you have Spice in reggae, who are promoting things that perhaps are not wholesome, and they harm the activism that artists like yourselves are trying to promote. So how do you feel that affects you as female eyes who are trying to elevate your game?
Who wants to start? Awa?
Awa, you could go. I'll go after Awa.
Can you?
I was saying people like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, some of the things that they're doing in your genre, I think are harmful to the kind of activism that you're trying to promote. So how do they affect the stuff that you do?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I do feel that, the activism I'm doing, sometimes I do feel that people do not really want to listen to it. Like, people do not really want to listen to positive, messaging, because they would rather go and listen to something else. And, when it comes to, like, let's say the way of dressing, the way I dress, I would rather just have my jeans and my t-shirts, just simple. But, people always see it in a different way, because I'm a hip hop artist. Like, I should be, I have some people calling me the female Nicki Minaj, and I don't know why. Like, it's totally, it's just like this. So,
especially since Nicki Minaj is actually female, but go on.
Yeah, I know. So, at some point it's kind of crazy, but like I said, we just, trying to push through and, present something positive to the world, because we have to consider the kids, because the kids, they try to imitate like almost everything, good or bad, so, we're just trying to probably avoid like foul languages and, crazy way of doing things that are not really helping the society.
Can I say, I really believe that the industry has, it always has been racist and sexist, always have maintained that. And in terms of the music business is racist, has an element of racism to it, and sexism also as well. And I think that controls what we see. So a black female artist expressing her sexuality, for me, that's fine, as long as you have a balance of other artists that are conscious. So give us the range of artists, because we are not just one thing. So we are not just one. The fact that they promote it, it's seen as if it's popular, but actually there's many artists out there that reflect lots of different, because writing is about experience. So you're writing, and I just think it has contrived this and put this into the media so that we only think female artists are breasts, and it's about shaking your booty, and it's not, this is not real. This is male domination. This is the image they project of women. Hip hop was originally about the truth and honesty about what the streets, what oppression was about. It was telling the truth, and it's turned into something different now. I think, yeah, roots of it is black music. The genre of black music comes out of suffering, comes out of love, because we are people of love. And this is where our music, black genres of music are tied. I think they're together. And sexuality is a part of our story. Softness, so is all things. And I just think, yeah, it's the industry that separates it.
So trying to kind of push female artists into one little corner and diminish the talent, the art, the message. The same question, Nile Dawta, in terms of what DJ Fluid asked. What was it again? It was about, different kinds of representation and the sexualization as being the one vehicle. Anything to say on that, Nile Dawta?
Now I would just refer to what Think Serious said on the comments. He was saying controlled Western media hardly promotes positive rap music and just good music in general, you know. And whether we like it or not, as my sister was saying, it's racist, it's sexism, and also it's patriarchal, you know, at the end of the day. And so whoever is controlling the media has the say to what is going to be aired or not. And with that regard, I always just try to say, like, and to women in general, I like to say that women are the custodians of culture. So it doesn't really matter what is out there, but then we are the caregivers, and we nurture a generation, we nurture the future, because mostly we are the ones left with the child breastfeeding and all these things. And so even with knowing all this that is happening and what is being promoted, me as a woman, and me as a female artist, what is my responsibility to the ones that I am nurturing, you know, to the ones that I am looking after? And I think that is what is important. And if you were to change the world, then if the mindset of the women were changed, then generations pretty much are gonna look different.
Yes, thank you so much. Annette Judah, situations within your career where you ever put on a shorter skirt, or push up the twins them, or anything like that within your career, where you have felt, or were you guys bosses to the point where nobody was gonna mess with or no?
Yeah, I think that there was, for us, we weren't necessarily the bosses in terms of that, but we did have a lot of control over our image and how we presented ourselves. And because we were Rasta women first, there was no room for that, you know, that shorter skirt, or if that wasn't what we were promoting. So we was very much kind of rigid in the way we presented ourselves. But I was just going to go back to Fluid's point about the activism stroke sexualization. I think that there is, in the music industry, because you've always got layers of music industry, and part of the music industry that's very commercialized and very much in the media and in your face is all the stuff that is very sensationalized, like the newspaper. The front page is the most sensational thing you get. But then behind that, the stories that you read might be the real stories that you're looking at. And that's why there's a whole genre of people who might listen to some of that slackness or some of the, you know, the angry rap stuff. But they also listen to the consciousness too. Yeah. Because in their circles, when they're talking and discussing, I think that there's more, I think more people are wanting to have knowledge and to show that, yeah, I understand that too.
But in reality, which artists are making, I know that money is not the key. When I listen to all of you speaking, I can hear that money is not your driver, but who are making the money?
You're right. Those that are making money are the ones in the media that get picked up, that would wear the short skirt, that would have the boobies out, that would do, you know, the twerking on and do all of that. They're the ones who are in your face, in the industry. But the sacrifice that those artists are making to be like that is short-lived.
The reality The reality
can't
is,
go and be that kind of artist.
yeah, I think the reality is that the people who are making the money are men.
Yes.
Of course.
A lot of what they're trying to, what a lot of you see projected and a lot of is being promoted is male fantasy over female reality.
You see,
because it's those men that control the image that you see.
Let me just say this, Fluid.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this, Fluid. Me and my sister have worked in many, many studios across the country. And we have never, ever worked in a studio with a female producer.
I was just going to ask that question.
I'm going to get to that too.
Yes.
Go on, Musu.
Because one of the things in doing the research, I listened to a lot of music genres in the and interestingly, our 2020 apparently was the year of the female rapper. Female rappers dominated last year. And something you said, Annette, they were a mixture. I watched the videos. Some of them, I can only take so many buttock cheeks in my face. Not that I have anything against the female form. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just that I'm thinking, there was so much of that pop and the pop behind. And I began to not listen to the lyrical content. But there were some videos that were so beautiful. This was 2021, which, as I said, female rappers dominated. There was something else I was going to ask. Yes, and there are companies now that are training women, not just as the female lead singers, backing singers, but also the technicians and also the roadies and also the stage management. So it's across the whole thing. We need more of that. And I came across a couple of companies that are actually training women to do that, because artists are saying, and especially female artists, we want to see female management. We want to see female road management. We want to see female tech. Yes.
That's right. The first time, I'm just going to jump in here. We were, me and my sister got the opportunity to go to Brazil to do, we were touring with Finley Quay at the time. And we were doing a huge MTV thing in Brazil. And we were following on from the Roots from America, the band The Roots.
Wow, yeah.
And they had an all-female technician group. All their runners, all of their crew were female. A female energy, the female energy just in backstage doing all the tech and I thought that was amazing.
You had to go all the way to Brazil
to see that,
to witness and to feel,
all the way
and
to Brazil for a group from America. Yeah, for a group of viewers, this is how it. Also to go to Lauren Hill. Lauren Hill, we were doing a photo shoot, and we were asked to do a photo shoot in Wembley in London, and we got backstage, met all Lauren Hill, met Wycliffe. And it was an all black crew. Every single person who was working on the crew in the back were all black. And it was just, for me and my sister, I know that was just mind blowing, because we'd never seen that, because we work in that field, but it's usually an all white crew, and that was the most amazing thing to see as well. Just all black people working in the crew and on stage. And we were like, wow, this is phenomenal.
Wow.
I mean, we've had some opportunities in music that I don't think a lot of people know. We've had some amazing experiences.
Talk to us.
Yeah, I think our journey has been magnificent when I really look back. And we like I said, we've met Lauren Hill. We actually met Lauren Hill. We ran after her. We ran after Lauren Hill she just finished Wembley the stage, and we ran backstage. We were in the VIP section, and we were lucky to be there, actually, just the way the day went. And we ran after her, and she was just about to get in the cab, and my sister knocked on her, please, and she turned down, please. And she turned down the window and looked at us and said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Your dreads are so beautiful." And she took time and spelled out all of our children. My sister has 5 children. I have 3 children. And she spelled every single name of our children on a piece of paper and spent time with us and chatted to us. That is that energy of female. And it was as if a halo was around her head. For us, she was the most giving, beautiful spirit. And that's why we give today. We work with young people, inspiring them in music. and we mentor young people, and that's we feel as if we've experienced so much amazing. Our journey has been amazing. We've met some amazing lovers rock singers, artists from all different kind of artists. If I go into it, I'll be here forever. It's been an amazing journey. So maybe my sister can tell you a little bit as well.
Yeah, no, just to add to, you're just absolutely right. No, we have been very lucky in our artists, and there's something probably about the fact that we're sisters, and our connection, our vocal connection, got us notoriety because of the sound that we made, and because people, you know, it was natural to us, but people found it amazing. So we got work with so many different people, and the privilege of being able to work as well in so many different genres of music. We've done rock music, jazz, you know, reggae, pop music. We've sang on everything. You know, we've toured with pop artists. We've done a lot of things, and
you guys toured with Boyzone, didn't you? At one point,
we did. Yes. Yeah.
Give us some artists you've toured with. I know you're trying to be modest. Take it out of the bag right now. Make we talk about it. Come on now.
Yeah. Oh, we toured with Finley Quay. We toured with some pop artists, Boyzone, and obviously Peter Andre back in that time. We've also performed live on stage with Third World. Back in Third World, we've backed nearly most of the
reggae. John Hall.
John Hall.
So many. We've been on stage. What was the most recent one when we did in Leeds?
Anthony B. We did Jamaican artist Anthony B.
No, when we did the acoustic set. Do you remember we did that acoustic set? When we opened for, what was his name? Desmond Dekker.
Oh,
Desmond
wow.
Desmond Dekker. I remember years ago, many years ago, as we said before, our dad is a musician, and our dad used to play everywhere, all over the place. And we were on a gig with our dad in Leicester University, because our dad did the university circuit, so did we. Yeah. We were doing a gig at Leicester University, and it was their end of year ball. And we had the privilege of watching Desmond Dekker perform. This is amazing.
And also Gil Scott Heron. Gil Scott Heron came to Leeds, and Exile Intact. We supported Gil.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. We did. Which connects again to hip hop history and hip hop genre. Okay. Yeah. I want you all, if you each have questions for each other, but after we got to slip away.
Ah, dear.
Why did he slip away? I don't know.
I don't know why.
1990, am I right?
Yes.
1990. So, Nile Dawta, Awa Bling, we're going to 1990. Oh my goodness. I remember when this happened. You know, the music today, listening to you all, it touches me in ways that you will never understand. I thank you all for this beautiful music. Lord have mercy, me have to call me granny.
Can I just say something? Yes. Can I just say something before you put it on? Yes. This was the first Lovers Rock I ever wrote. I've never wrote Lovers Rock before.
Really?
So this is the first Lovers Rock I ever wrote. I didn't like it, but the band thought it was good.
It wasn't your...
The band said that we should do this.
Beautiful beeline come from? Because it was it a Rewa label? Professor?
It was a Rewa label.
Mad Professor.
Yes, it was a Rewa label. Mad Professor. Yeah. So we actually had that song for maybe 5 years. The band Exile Intact, they formulated the original of that song, and we took the live recording to Rewa. So we took the live recording of Exile Intact playing the live, and we took it to Rewa, and they were actually giving us another song. They wanted to give us another song to sing, and we said no. The weirdest thing is when he said that he's got this song, he played it to us, and it was a cover version. And I said, if I can match that song, I'd like to match that song.
Yeah,
of course.
And I said, if I can match that song, and he said, so we did this one, we did a few, and they chose this one. So we were lucky to be able to do our own song, because a lot of the artists at the time were doing a lot of cover versions.
Beautiful,
so
beautiful. Before I play Slipping Away, John, you look like you have something to add.
Yeah, just we are having a very interesting discussion on the chat, and also we have a listener, Temesgen Gebre.
Wow.
his power to the women who are breaking all the barriers and chains put on them by society. So power to you all. And then designed alteration says Royal Blood are the original band with the name. And then a white band came and used the name.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
okay. Yeah.
Yes,
That's
these are the
right.
alterations. But we know about the original something. Yes, John.
Yes, and then I will tie with a question like for Annette and Paulette, have you done anything in the continent? Because you mentioned you related to Africa. Africa was an inspiration. Have you done some work in the continent, if you could highlight? And then also like just looking at you wonderful musicians and the women artists and Black women artists. And it sets me to look at like the I3s. So I'm seeing you, Paulette, Maurice, Paulette, Annette, and Awa Bling and Nile Dawta. Maybe you can do a collaboration on something like women. Yeah.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Would be
That would be
amazing.
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would
Love
be
to see
amazing.
that.
The I3s
Should
have
be
always
amazing.
been an inspiration for us.
Wow.
Always been an inspiration. So
Yes.
yes, we are so much into female energy and that female sound. So the I3s were instrument for us in terms of harmonies and how they blended as Rasta women, and as well individually. We followed them individually, so we know them
Because people
individually as
forget that they
artists.
each had their own
Oh, that's
individual career as
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
female soloists in their own right.
Definitely,
it's
definitely. And
forgotten.
we
Yeah.
exactly we performed alongside Marcy Griffiths, who came as well. And recently I've recorded a song, Judy Mowat's song Black Woman, and hopefully she's going to do a guest on it. So we are still connecting with these artists.
Wow.
And Janine as well. Janine, we performed with Janine a couple of years ago. We did it, and so I think we are still there, and we are still
course.
progressing and still doing music.
Did
so
you hear
yes.
that Nile Dawta Awa Bling? They haven't stopped. So
No.
That's wonderful. That's
We'll never
wonderful.
stop.
Yeah.
never.
No.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play Slipping Away, and then we're going to go into the let's just play Slipping Away and we'll see. Keep the vibes flowing. Okay.
He's slipping away, and I don't know if I can make him stay. All those times we shared together, I thought it was forever, but baby, I was wrong. He is slipping away. What you gonna do about it? He's slipping away. I've been telling him about it. He's slipping away. I gotta know how. Can I make you stay? I thought that it could be so right for you and me. We had so much going. Feelings were just growing. I couldn't believe it was you. To find the love I knew was not the same anymore. Oh baby, I know the score. He's slipping away. What you gonna do about it? He's slipping away. Tell him about it. He's slipping away. I wanna know how. Can I make you stay? He's slipping away, and I don't know if I can make him stay. All those times we shared together, baby, I thought it was forever. I was wrong.
Missy.
Oh my word.
Nile Dawta.
Years and years ago.
Can I just say something? This song, I heard it way before actually me and you were chatting about today. And yeah, it's beautiful, you know. And right now I had to like mute you so that I could just like listen it straight from my headphones. It's some serious vibes, you know.
Oh,
I'm honored to meet you.
Oh, I'm honored to meet you, Nile Dawta. You are amazing, and you are the future. So you know we need more female artists in the world. So we thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Before I kind of open up so that you can speak to each other a bit more, as women on the African continent, Awa, you already raised an issue about the traditional aspect being a lot more. I lived in Gambia for a time, so I kind of understand that whole. When I lived in Gambia, I used to go running in the stadium, and people used to laugh at me because it's like, this lady with grey hair, she's running. What's wrong with her? So perceptions of what women should be like are very strong. And I remember running with these two people, and I ran faster than them, and they were like, but Auntie Muzu, you can run. Oh, my Auntie Muzu. So it's a very rigid kind of thinking that as women. So on the African continent, I would imagine Gambia would probably a little bit more rigid than say a Nairobi, I would imagine. Am I wrong, John?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I think Nairobi might be a little bit more open. But in terms of your music, like what Nile Dawta was saying, we have these different constraints, but you guys have not allowed them to dampen what you're doing in the slightest.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, true. I would say, and just like try to react upon it, like it has been a journey, like also in Nairobi. I know like there's some women reggae artists, and also Nile Dawta will know like the likes of Nazizi.
Yes.
The likes of Nazizi who started also doing reggae and a kind of dancehall. It's a journey that they took, and also they had similar challenges, just as our presenters have shared here.
Okay.
Like being a lady.
Yes.
Being a lady is also like the challenges, but it's been a journey, and it has opened up in Nairobi. I can see like when we were doing this session, I had to Google up and like look at the women reggae artists in Nairobi. And I know there's Black Heart. I think also Nile Dawta Nosa, and also Nile Dawta keeping the fire burning. And also there's also I remember a few years ago I participated in a festival called Swan. It was celebrating women artists.
Yes.
Women artists in music and in arts, and I think they did it this year. So maybe, as Paulette just said, we need to support women in music.
Yes. So now,
thinking of a festival.
Sorry, a festival. So this can be the beginning of that festival. Nile Dawta and Awa Bling, do you think as artists you are taken seriously? Do people even know, oh, they have hip hop artists in Gambia, oh, they have reggae singers in Kenya? Do you think the world as a wider entity knows about your work, do you feel that it's taken seriously? Nile Dawta.
Yes.
Sorry, Awa, go on.
Yeah, I'll say that yes. For now, yes, because you know, I've performed in Dakar in a hip hop festival, and I've also worked on a project with different artists from Senegal, Mali, Benin, you know, on like a 5 songs project, talking about, you know, the transitional justice processes and stuff. So, you know, the recognition is growing a bit. And I feel that, you know, people who live in the diaspora are being more, you know, appreciative, valuing more the work that I'm doing right now. Though I'm having support in Gambia, but I just feel more support from other countries. To be honest, yes.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why we decided to open the forum. And we're hoping that Reggae Rasta Reasoning will become a vehicle to do this even more, connecting the African village.
Yes.
What about yourself, Nile Dawta? Thank you, Awa Bling.
Thank you.
In terms of recognition of your music, being an African artist.
I think it's a journey. It's not where I want it to be, but it's definitely a journey, and I think there's some level of respect and seriousness that I command, or rather I would say, like, I how do I put this? It's just how I do my work, and I was discussing Stephen Odembo here is a good friend of mine, and in Kenya we were just talking about changing the scene from a marketplace to an industry, and so we are just doing that one step at a time. And we have this initiative called Wadada Pamoja. It's with Stephen. It's called Sisters Together, and it's promotion of sisters in reggae, be it MCs, be it singers, be it dancers, just the whole genre itself, and just promoting the MCs who are female in the reggae scene. And so it's just the fact that we command and then we receive it back, and just turning the whole place from a market to an industry. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. So I'm going to open up. If there are any questions you'd like to ask one another, the panelists, because everybody has an opportunity here to share, to speak, to listen, to whatever. There's even been talk of collaboration. Boy, me not go sleep tonight without the excitement. So
I like that collaboration talk.
Yes.
I was listening, and obviously I know a lot about Royal Blood's journey. And you got a little inkling of all the people they've worked with and all the respect they've gained in the industry and all the great things they've done. However, I've sat in meetings, as you both know, and I've heard people who haven't even done an inkling of what you've done speak to you with the most disrespect that I've heard. And they've done that simply because they are men and you are women. How do we combat that?
I think again,
Sorry, go ahead,
you go.
Now, just it's interesting you should mention that, because I do think that it's a challenge for women when women are trying to be represented and trying to be represented in an industry that is definitely male dominated, and that men, even if they're not in the music themselves, they still feel more powerful than you. And it is a real challenge. And just at this moment in time here in the UK, we're going through this issue with women's safety and women's inequalities. And this is one of the areas for me, particularly as an activist myself, that I feel very, very passionate about, that we level the playing field, because we have just as much to contribute as men. And it is really difficult, Fluid, so good for raising it. It is really difficult when it's people that you lived amongst, that know who you are, know what you've done. But because of this male ego thing, they will still try and squash you and make you feel insignificant for being a woman in that space. So I think it's been a challenge, but I feel I've overcome it in many ways, because I've always stood my ground and challenged them back, and I think, sometimes in life when things come full circle and the people who challenged you at one point and who were totally against you and felt as though they needed to squash you now come to you for advice, I feel we've come full circle. So I feel even more powerful now than I did then, but it's a challenge for women to be that. I had 3 sons, so I think, I'm used to challenging men. So maybe, it's not the same for all women.
Yes, yeah. And I think you're right. I think sometimes as well. I think before you even say, "Well, I'm an artist," you're gonna have to get through sometimes the comments and how good you look and all, and you know you're looking great. You know, again, it depends. Not all. It's not all situations. You know, I can say, but I mean, I know I have a personal experience of, you know, getting a deal, and this is just out there. You know, it's out. It's real. You know, you get your record deal, and then you know, your actual producer says how much he fancies you. You know, the guy who's putting your record out tells you how much he likes you, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is disastrous because we've just you know, just done an album, and now I've got to invest in your feelings now, and it just doesn't work. It just never ever works because I think it's very difficult. Men always think that a female is her man is going to control her career, so her partner is going to dictate whether she goes to the show or not, whether she turns up at the studio or not. So sometimes they prefer if you don't have a partner, and in that way, when you don't have a partner, like my sister said, sometimes you feel vulnerable in that environment because you're a free entity, and somebody. The only way, and I know in the reggae business, in the early days, it was about trust because it's a self-made business, especially the lovers rock business is very much an self-made. So I know it's really about the female then being able to trust that female that she's not going to go off and get pregnant or not going to go off and her man because her man's told her. It's knowing that women are in control. Actually, if I have a man, he can't dictate to me where I'm going or what I'm doing. I can have everything and still be productive in the studio and still do my job basically. And I think it's getting through that, you know, I need to date you now, I need to be in a relationship with you now to get a record deal. And I know back in the day it was difficult for some women.
Do you know the reason
I think the lovers rock genre as much as
the reason I put it out there, is because I think we can only change these things if we put it out into the ether, put it out into the universe. We have to change the energy, and we cannot change the energy if we stay silent. So we put it out there. People then become aware, and then you can make changes. And
the idea of the arts, especially, and I'm just going to drop this in, of the casting couch. You know, it's a real thing. You know, and you know the idea that women will have to lay down to get what they want. You know, it's a real thing, and I know women ain't doing that no more. And I know back in the time there was something, you know, women were subjected to those things. You know, we refused it everywhere, and even that deal, what I was telling you, I decided I would just cut loose. I just said bye, see you later. It's not going to work. So I forfeited that, you know, that deal because I just could not think of myself being in a relationship with somebody to get a deal. It just
it just wasn't what we
again.
It just wasn't something we were good for, and it wasn't something we were prepared to kind of lower ourselves in the industry for. We would rather do without. And we always maintained that throughout, that we would rather walk away than put ourselves in a compromising situation in the industry, because it's not worth us. You know what I mean?
Any questions, absolutely. Nile Dawta, Awa Bling, do you each have questions for each other, one another? Sorry.
I think as well, I've got a question for some of the female artists. You know, the pandemic, you know, it's kind of halted us all in terms of musically and getting out there. How do you see things opening up? When things are opening up, how do you see things progressing for yourself? Awa Bling, how do you see things moving forward for yourself?
Well, when it comes to the COVID, it actually affected, you know, us as artists because we, you know, no to public gatherings, so you cannot really go out and perform, and you know, especially like most artists, you know, they fully depend on their music. That's how they get paid. That's how they take care of themselves. So right now, there is you know, less avenues for, you know, artists to go and perform. So right now, what we can what we can only do right now is to take this opportunity to work on more songs, to do more research, and try to master our craft. So
Yes.
that's all I see right now. That's all we can do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's a fantastic. What about yourself? Can you hear me?
Nile Dawta.
Nile Dawta. Nile Dawta.
It's actually same, just
Sorry,
more
if
work and
somebody
more work.
has got some background sound, I'm not sure who it is. Okay. Sorry, Nile Daughter, can you say that again?
So
Thank you, Awa.
yeah, uh, just as Awa said, is time to just create more. It's not easy surviving now, given that the pandemic is here and we were gig workers, and yeah, it's kind of difficult. And that was also my next question. I was gonna ask Paulette and Annette, how is the scene in Europe, and how are you able to still sustain yourself even when you're not working? Are you able to still through the music itself, or do you have to like get an alternative source of income for you to be able to, and also just being in the industry for 30 years, do you feel like you're, as much as it's not about the music, but do you feel like you're at a place that you're financially stable from what you as an artist are earning, and yeah, how is the whole scene
Well,
in the
I
UK?
think
Yeah.
for me, I think yeah, you're right. I think musically, as far as in the UK, there's a really good scene, a reggae scene in Europe and the UK, and it's opening up. It's opening up in terms of um black musician, for black music and reggae music particularly. Europe is probably the biggest avenue, and I think for myself, I wouldn't say that I have got stable, financially stable through my music. I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that I work in music. So I work with young people. I work in music, inspiring young people. I work in the studio. We have a studio where young people come. I do an online writing group. So I do creative writing as part of my job. So because I'm a writer, a songwriter, I have groups that come, I mentor young people, and that is my work, and that is where I get majority of my money comes from that, and gigging. Obviously, gigging, I'm not gigging now, so I wouldn't say there's no money coming from that, but predominantly of my money is coming from working with young people in music, because that's what I do, as well as perform and write myself. So I would say finding a job within the industry would be a good thing, or using your creativity to create another job, because yes, you are right, the music business is very difficult, it's very fickle as well. And so your parents were right in one aspect of you to have something in the background. I always say to the young people, music is in your soul. That is the easy thing for you to do, because it's in your passion. It's your passion. Learn about the business. Learn about the business of music. That's where you're going to really understand and earn your money from writing the songs, from producing your own music. You will get more funds back, and you will have that control, and forming your own businesses in music. I think that's the way to go for us female artists personally. I think touring as you get older, and we are at that age now. I mean, I enjoy gigging, but touring is very difficult. I think touring is, and we have families, so we have to even things out. So yes, I do work in music. I'm very, very, very lucky to be able to do that and still
Can
be
I ask
creative.
you all, in terms of music and the ownership of your music, do you own your music?
Yes, we own our music now. Yes. In the past, we had to lease it to the record company for 10 years. So the record company had it for 10 years. And then after 10 years, we got the rights back.
Wow.
In that 10 years, we didn't know where it went. We had no idea, because it depends on the relationship you have with your record company, or the person who, the publisher.
Yes.
Things have changed now. I think people are much more in control of their music, and yeah, I think music is not as sellable as it was in the past. So you're not going to make any money from making the music.
Yeah.
I think you're going to make money from touring and your merchandise. That's why I said get into your business of music, get into the business side of it, and your merchandise, and just being able to sell your music through lots of other different means as well, even down to film. Think about film, think about all of these other mediums where your music may be able to be placed. And the sky's the limit. Push yourself in all directions. I think right now with the movement of Black Lives Matter, not just Black Lives Matter, but I see it as kick down the doors, kick them down and say, I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. And I demand a publishing deal. A publishing deal will get you around the world, because a good publisher will have all the connections in Europe, Asia, everywhere, Africa, everywhere, and you'll be able to tour. So I want these things. Give me what I deserve, because these are racist sometimes organizations, and we just have to find a way to work with them. As much as we may not want to, we just have to find a way that suits us and work with us. But a publishing deal and a distribution deal is more of what artists are probably seeking now. Artists are making their own music, they're writing their own songs, they're making their own videos. There's no need for a record deal. What we want is a distribution deal, and that's publishing.
And the publishing.
So publishing.
Awa Bling, the business of being a young hip hop artist, who has ownership of your works in terms of the business aspect? Awa.
Yeah, I'll say that I have ownership, because I'm not really working with any record label or distribution companies. Like basically, I just have a small team, and they help me out to push certain things, but I own everything. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Nile Dawta.
And that is the future.
Sorry. Yeah. Nile Dawta. Music ownership, music business.
Nile Dawta.
All right.
The one who owns everything.
2 words. Nile Dawta.
Yes.
Whoa.
You own everything.
Yes.
And that's amazing.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It is.
We've gone over time. I'm not going to shut you down. I would say my last question would be, and DJ Fluid, I'll give you time to ask yours as well, and John, where is Royal Blood heading? Where is Nile Dawta heading? Where is Awa Bling heading?
For me, I think Royal Blood came to a point where I think we exhausted what we had done. And I think there's so much other music that is coming out of us individually. I think we plan to do a solo album each.
Ooh.
And just explore that. And then we probably will come back together. Yeah, we probably will come back together and do a solo album, a together album at some point. But I think our journey has been such a lot of years that I think it's there's some music that I've created that probably don't fit Royal Blood in that sense of Royal Blood, and I'm sure my sister as well has written songs that don't fit.
People will say, "Oh, them split up." Because people
we will never split up.
never admire the fact that even if you sing with a group, a duo, a duet, a quartet, you are your own smarty.
We are
their own somebody. You guys have been doing music long enough because you each have your own sound. Paulette, I remember the last time I heard you sing live.
Yeah.
It was like some deep, dark Ethiopian coffee.
Yes.
That was being brewed on the top of a mountain. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Not the instant coffee, but some deep.
Yes. I know what you're saying.
And
That's
you
right.
have your own sound. And
I do.
Because you tend to harmonize behind Sis, sometimes we don't get to hear the fullness of your voice. I've heard you sing, but less. So yes, I want to hear the two of Uno as your own entity.
Yes. Absolutely, yeah. I'm working on some music at the moment, so yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. And tell us a tiny bit about your daughters as well. Tila and Tavila.
Yeah. My daughters, Tila and Tavila, twin daughters who just naturally became singers.
I wonder why.
It's in the blood. It's in
something
the
in the water. Yeah, because I have 3 sons as well, and they're all performers too.
all of them. Yeah, amazing one.
And the voice that came from these girls was just, I just say, God gave them those voices. That's all I can say.
Definitely.
And they have followed in the footsteps of me and my sister in a way, but in their own genre. They're writers. They sing together. The harmonies are unique and beautiful. Creating their own world. They're gigging all the time. They're doing a lot of things. They've got gigs already lined up with the pandemic opening up. So they're really doing amazing. And they were on The Voice on the national television, and they're really pursuing their career now. They're looking.
And while we're here, my claim to fame is I got the sisters and to sing with their mother and auntie at one of my events one time.
Wow.
That's in history.
Fantastic.
And they also sang a wonderful version of their parents' and auntie's song, "Slipping Away."
Yes, they did.
At somebody's 50th birthday.
It was Paulette.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
We did it at our launch as well when we launched the album.
The Journey?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Journey.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
And our mom sings as well.
Yeah.
So this is all in our whole family. We probably couldn't get away from it.
You
really.
are the Jacksons,
And we're so
kids.
blessed. Yes, exactly. And we're so blessed because when we know so many others that parents don't believe in the power of the arts. And I just really think that I understand that struggle. And I think we were so lucky that our parents really appreciated the arts and my dad worked in music and worked in the schools, and I think that's what inspired me, and that's why I work where I work, because his inspiration, he made me believe that you can actually work in this field.
Thank you, Daddy
and inspire
Morris.
other young people.
God bless
Thank
you,
Daddy Morris.
Sinclair Morris.
Yeah.
Nile Dawta, where is this beautiful journey down this river Nile that never ends and flows for eternity? Where is it going?
It's gonna be watering the whole of Africa and even more, hopefully. But yeah, it's really an honor to be in the presence of you amazing women, and it's a coincidence that just a week from now, 2 weeks, or rather 2 weeks from now, I'll be doing new music, and it's called Black Woman, and it's just a celebration of
Wow.
So this energy, I'm carrying it forward all the way to the release and then everything else. So thank you very much for your presence, Queens.
Oh wow.
We need to at some point invite you. We need to invite you now and work. That's right. Over to the UK to perform with us.
Yes.
We have amazing Black Festival here.
Let's work on
Black
it.
Music Festival.
Let's work on it.
And we should come over to you, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Where's your passport? And a passport.
We should invite you over. Yes. As soon as everything is full, we need to get you over here. Yes. So we will definitely keep in touch.
Yes.
We will.
Awa Bling, where is your beautiful? I've been watching some of your work. And the themes, you're not afraid. It's not always easy to talk on those themes when people don't understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. And you're not just using your voice, you're using imagery. That's very powerful within your music. So to be in your presence is just such an honor. Where is your musical journey going for you?
Yeah, I have seen like the effects of when people limit themselves. I've seen what it really does to them. So I've learned not to limit myself. From now on, like I'm just ready to explore and spread my wings and try out new things. So right now I'm just working on field projects. I'm working on an EP and working towards an album too.
Fantastic.
So I am really inspired. Like I have been taking notes like throughout this conversation. I am really inspired, and I'm really looking forward to having a collaboration with you beautiful artists, and
Yes.
also to keep the link. Maybe we can chat from time to time and learn from
Don't
each
worry,
other. I would really love
I will
that.
share all of the
Yes.
links with you as individuals, as well
Yes.
as sharing your music and works links. Even
Yes.
though this, I mean, we can have part two of this. This can grow into what we desire
Yep.
it to grow. So we will ensure if there's any links that you want me to put under the video when we put this up, then just send that to me as well. Any final questions, DJ Fluid, John?
John.
No, Fluid. You can. Yeah.
Because
They're outnumbered today, and they can't
Yeah.
even decide.
Yeah, we're outnumbered.
no, because see, mine is not really a question. Mine is a statement that I tell my children. I have 3 daughters and 8 sons, and I tell my children what we need is balance. And this industry, we as a people will only survive and strive and elevate if we create balance amongst one another.
Yes.
And that's what I always try and do. I had a committee one time. My committee was predominantly women because you can't do much without female energy. And maybe that's because I was raised by a single mother. So I had my mother's influence around me at all times. So in the industry, what I would love to see is not just us in the artistic end of the industry, but again, we touched on it earlier, in the creative end and in the business end and in the production end and in everything we do.
Yes.
Because Sonia Pottinger is the only female producer that I can think of, and there was Sylvia Robinson in America who started the Sugar Hill label. But what happened with a lot of women who did get elevation, they because of the way the industry is, they then had to take on almost male roles, so they didn't get to use their female energy in order to lift their part in the industry.
Yeah.
We learn the lessons of history. We mustn't make that happen again. So people like Royal Blood, who have been in the industry for so long, I'm not putting it on your toes, but I'm saying it's people like you who will usher in our next set of female entrepreneurs and producers and creatives and all the rest of that. That's where it begins. That's where it starts.
Can I say as well that we stand on the shoulders of all the other artists as well that are inspiration to us. You know, Sylvia Teller, you know, she is a huge artist as far as and a friend. And she manages her own career. She does everything herself, and she is an absolute inspiration, absolute superstar.
There's so
as far
many.
As I'm
Let's
concerned.
call out some of the UK. Kofi,
We have
Taja,
Paulette Taja, Janet Kay, Carol Thompson, you know, Sandra Cross, all of these artists. We back these artists. Deborah Glasgow, we backed Deborah Glasgow just before she passed away. We were the last artist. We were the last backing vocalist to back with her. She was the most amazing, beautiful artist. You know, there's so many artists that we stand on their shoulders because they trailblazed and open doors for all of us. So all of the female artists out there are definitely trailblazers, and you know, especially the artists of my time. You know, I honor them. A lot of them didn't get money, and I know now, you know, the industry has changed a lot, but a lot of them signed away their rights to the music and didn't actually get anything back from them. But you know, they have their notoriety, they have their name, and they can always take that name, and that's why there's been a revival again. You know, and I always believe the revival is always, their music's always existed, it's always been there. Good music will last forever, and your music will outlive you. Music will outlive you. It will be there for generations and generations to pick up. So this medium is powerful. This is
which is why I spoke of balance. If you look at this forum that we're on now, is the brainchild of male and female and male, because I don't want to put male first all the time. It's Musafing and John. If those two energies did not come together, we wouldn't be talking about this now and probably inspiring. Even if we inspire one person who's listening right now, then we've done a good thing.
Yes.
I agree.
John, we have, sorry, so I'm thinking John's voice, we don't want you to get to drown you out, because John is the one who asked Nile Dawta to take part. And when we're not online, oh my gosh, we're on the phone for like 2-3 hours talking and planning and everything. So John, just for everybody listening and watching, John is, as DJ Fluid said, we are the kind of balance, and we work together so beautifully. It's like we've known each other for so long. So John, thank you. Can you add your final words? It's an honor.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's an honor. Like, I'm really excited. I was also, like, my hands were busy taking notes, reading comments, because we've had very interesting discussions on the chat. And if you get time, you can pass through. Really wonderful. And I would like to thank the guest artist, and it's wonderful, like, being in this platform and getting to hear about your music and what you've been doing. And I will just like to reiterate what I think today, me and DJ Fluid, we are thinking in the same mind: balance and inclusivity. Like, I normally work a lot with the younger ones, and what Musufin said about Marcia Griffiths, like standing on stage when she was 10 years, like, it catapulted her reggae music journey. So I would call upon Awa Bling, Nile Dawta, Paulette, and Annette. Please hold those young starlets, those young women in the platform. So we have like more voices in the platform. And like also Musufin has talked about our sunset. Like, and what I've been hearing is collaborations. So I hope you will collaborate, Kenya, Gambia, UK, and we take this discussion further. And I will be really excited to host you, all of you, physically in the continent.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to do it.
We have to do it. Yeah.
Yes, we have to
live
do it.
music show. I
it.
can already hear. I can already hear it. Oh, I'm getting shivers. Okay.
Musufin, the song of I Saw a Vision. Joking to the, like you were seeing a vision.
Yes.
Zion in a vision.
Oh, Zion in a vision. Yes,
Yeah.
Garnet Silk. In Jamaica they have.
I wanted to say.
Oh, sorry. Yes. No.
Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing, especially to Paulette and Annette. If you've not been to the continent, Karibu Sana it means welcome, and I want to host you guys. Welcome to the continent.
We want to come. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Invite you.
Absolutely.
That would be beautiful to come.
Yes, it would.
Yes,
it would.
In Jamaica, there's a
It'd be
saying.
amazing.
My mother used to use it all the time, and it is "me glad bag boss," which basically means my bag of gladness is so full it wants to burst. So that's how I feel doing this today. Me glad bag boss. All right. It's been an absolute. I don't know the word. It's just been beautiful to just see these beautiful faces in front, and for you to all share. And I love the fact that we have younger artists and we have artists who've been that's a beautiful balance there as well.
Yes, it is.
And it's
Definitely.
also opened me to some other artists that I didn't know existed on the African continent, who I've been listening to: Rosary, Mutoni, Drummer Queen, different artists from Kenya, from Uganda, from different places. Oh, Awa Bling, where are the other Gambian female hip hop artists? Are there any coming up behind you?
Yeah, we have few female artists.
Call out their names.
We have Binzi, we have Silsi the Slayer, we have Barbara Queen. I think that's it.
Yes.
Just a few, yeah.
No, that's good. Because 10 years ago, could you have named those?
No.
Thank you. So that's progress.
That's
So
progress.
what
Yeah.
you are doing, you are
Okay.
already creating the next generation, our bling, bling, bling.
Yep.
More
Definitely.
power to you
I'm
all.
hoping to inspire more female artists, you know, to, you
Yeah.
know, just come out and speak up. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And do their
Definitely.
thing. Yeah.
Fantastic. DJ Food Irie, as always, a pleasure and honor. Thank you so much for gracing us once again.
Thanks for the invitation.
Oh gosh, and you know, so we are gonna call you and say, DJ, can you come and do another one? So we're gonna sign out to the public right now.
Thank you so
And
much.
I'm
Yeah.
not bothered that we went 20 minutes. We didn't go over because we had to do what we had to do. This is a very important show today. So to everybody who tuned in, any last minute comments, John, from any listeners, viewers?
Like most of the listeners are liking the session, and
Yes.
just let me get one from Lajap, the UK reggae pioneering women, and which other comment? Yeah, we have like many comments,
So we
and
can
people
read
are
those after.
liking them.
Thank
We
you.
can read those after,
Yes.
and they're saying they love the force of the women.
Yes, Aya.
It's supposed to be recorded in reggae,
With Talawa.
in rap. Yeah.
With Talawa. All right then.
That's right.
So everybody listening, tuned in, thank you so much for your time on your Sunday. When in the UK, you could have been in the pub because the pubs are open. You could have been, but you came and you listened to Reggae Rasta Reasoning. So thank you everybody who's taken time to watch and to take in this beautiful energy tonight. Thank you so much. Come back for next month's Reggae Rasta Reasoning. And John and I will surprise you. We won't tell you what we're going to be doing. We'll make that a surprise. But we hope that this forum will not be the last one in terms of
Yeah.
these beautiful women artists. Thank you so much, everybody. Signing out in a minute when I get my proper thing together. Hold on.
Thank you for having us, Mustafa.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
A
much.
much.
pleasure and an
Oh,
honor.
you're welcome. You're welcome.